Greetings and welcome to Melek Shalama Capital LLC Trading. Right now I'm executing a bowling green strategy, and let me just break down quickly why I took this trade. So on a higher time frame, we have Camarilla S3 at 68.50. So we actually have a possible 360 fire strategy, which is a short continuation from a retest of this level. So I'm gonna actually trail my stop a little tighter up to this level here because I'm anticipating a breakdown from here, right? So if we do, let's see, let's move this up as well, right? So if we do actually get like a rejection here of this higher time frame, Camarilla S3 level, then I want to be out of the trade quickly, right? But on the daily pivots, I'm looking for this selling climax that occurred here, right? Took the bowling green tester. I did one contract here at Camarilla S3 entry. We pushed up, had a little pullback right there to these lower deviations, right? Held support, liquidity right there. Entered my full position, came back, retested my position, manipulated my stop a little bit to give it some room on the three contracts. And then we had the big buyers initiating, and now we came up here. We got our first take profit, I believe, at this level, 68.49.75 or 68.49.50. So right now we're pulling back, possible rejection of this higher time frame level. So let's go in closer, see if we can manage. Right, so this is VWAP, this is the volume point of control. So volume point of control right there. All right, so I'm out of the trade, right? So that's the profit on the day. And basically anticipating this higher time frame rejection, which is having right now at Camarilla S3. So we could be breaking down a lot from here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for a retest here. Actually, you know what? Let me stay disciplined because yesterday I actually tried to basically do two trades, right? So I took a short and then I took a long, just like what I was about to do. I was about to execute the rejection of that Camarilla S3, right? On the weekly pivots, right? So I was about to execute that 360 fire strategy by entering short here, but there's no need for me to really risk anymore. Had a nice profit on the day. So this here, if I were to enter, I should really wait on like a really nice retest, right? Not try to enter soon as I got stopped out and the breakdown of VWAP. This is a nice little retest here, but we could get some buying coming back in at this level here. This is an automatic reaction level from a distribution I was labeling before, right? So you see we came up to the buying climax of this prior distribution. So let me just pull this back, right? So you can see there was a prior distribution here, right? So I labeled this the buying climax. This was the automatic reaction. Then we had a secondary test right there. We pushed up a little bit. We started to break down. We came down here, formulated the bowling green strategy at these lower pivot levels. Floor pivot S1, Camarilla S3, ETH Low, Camarilla S4. Had the heavy buying pushing us back up. Well, that was over here, but let's open this up. Right, so we had the selling climax volume come in here, buying support. We have liquidity on the bid as support. Let's open it up so you could see that a little more. Right, so now you can see the selling climax volume. We have 124 stops, 197 and 29 self sweeps. We also have hold on one second. I gotta offset that. 1 second.
Stop run and Q sell wipeout. Boom. Sweep and Q buyers. Stock run and Q sell wipeout. Stock run and Q sell wipeout. Boom. Sweep and Q sellers. Stock run and Q sell wipeout.
1 second. So icon offset. Let me just push that down so I could see it. Right. So we have 83 icebergs here supported. So not much iceberg supporting price, and we have no follow through on the sellers, right? So basically the sellers got absorbed with this liquidity on the bid here as they came down, right? Liquidity stepped in heavy. Buyers came in, supported, selling exhaustion right here. Buyers came in again. I jumped in, got the retest right there as we broke above this first lower deviation. See, I'm highlighting it right there. Boom, jumped in the trade again, full position. Was a little cautious on the full position size, so the stop loss was initially right here. Wait, hold on. The stop loss was right here, 68, 38.50. So as we pull back, I saw this little dip. I actually saw that this is selling exhaustion, so this was a decent. I didn't have to really manipulate my stop, but I was a little nervous on the full position. Saw the consolidation, no big buyers stepping in after this selling exhaustion. So I thought, well, maybe it could actually come back and retest this level right here. So saw the selling exhaustion here again. Decided to move my stop up to this level here at break even, just above at this level. We came back here again. I gave it some room, decided to calm down, give it some room again, down to 68, 39.25. When the big buying came in, that's when I decided to manually move it up under the big buying right here. That was 1,189 contracts. So definitely buyers are showing their hand right there. And got where is the partial? Where is the partial? Where is it? Let's see, right. So that was the partial right there at 68.49.50, just under Camarilla S3, the weekly level. We started to distribute, came back here, and all out, right? So that was the trade right there. Let's see where we're at right now. And we're back at this automatic reaction level. Now, this is probably going to give me a nice little entry here. Might get a stop run above these VWAP levels. So the yellow line, that's ETH VWAP. The white line, that's London Session Open VWAP. And the green line is RTH Session VWAP, right? So you see we have iceberg sellers coming in here. We also have this iceberg supporting price. So a little manipulation, a little battle going on right there. But I'm thinking higher time frame is going to win. So higher time frame sellers are going to continue selling at the retest of weekly Camarilla S3, right? So this could be a possible entry for me right here. We see we have the buying bubble delta. Let's see how much contracts are in that. We have 188, no follow through. Then we have 60 following, and you see sellers are taking control at 238 sell delta right there. So all we got to do is break through this iceberg buyer, and it's a flush down, breakdown, daily Camarilla S3, and then it's curtains from there, because that'll be a higher time frame seller operating at weekly Camarilla S3, right, on the retest of that level. So yeah, that's basically my strategies, kind of like mean reversion strategies, basically using upper deviations and lower deviation VWAPs and resistance and support pivot levels. And yeah, that's basically my strategy right there, right? So bold and green at supporting pivot levels, supporting lower deviations, back up to this weekly Camarilla S3 level where we have a higher time frame developing a short. Actually, you know what? Let me try and just pull out trade and view so you could see that on a chart. 1 second.
Tracking. Iceberg ES5.
What am I doing here? Hold
Iceberg
on.
ES buy.
Hold on.
Boom. Sweep ES sellers.
You get out of here.
Sweep
All
ES sellers.
right. Let me open trading
ES
view.
sellers. Boom.
I just want to be
ES
thorough in my
sellers.
explanation, right? Because looking at the
ES
heat map is
sellers.
kind of like a
Sweep and Q
it's
sellers.
like a zoomed in view
Sweep and
of
Q
what's
sellers.
actually happening. So on the higher time
Stop
frame, I need to
wipeout.
go to trading
Stop
view
run
for
and
you
Q
to see
sell
that,
wipeout.
right?
Stop run ES
So
sell
where is my
wipeout.
trading view?
Stop run ES sell wipeout. Bang. Absorption
And
ES buyers.
right
Bang.
here.
Absorption
All right,
ES
let me pull
buyers.
this across. All right, let me take off this TPO. Right. So what we basically have here,
Sweep and Q sellers. Boom. Sweep
it's
close
a
sellers.
possible distribution happening
Sweep
here
and
right
Q
now, right?
sellers.
This could be the uptrust. We have a breakdown and we're retesting this weekly Camarilla S3 level. We actually push back to the mean and the central pivots. All these are weekly levels, right? And this is weekly value area high POC and POC. So you see we have rejections of the mean right there and the POC. We push down and let me open it up so you can see the actual trade I'm talking about. So let's open it up even more. Right, so now we see that we have basically a downtrend forming, right? And what we're looking for, we're looking at these rejections of this Camarilla S3 level right here at 68.50 on the day, well, today. And we're seeing the flush down from it right now, right? And now we could actually I have a level here. This is basically a Wyckoff level. I'm basically labeling it as prove the distribution, right? So if we start breaking down this level here, we're definitely probably going to try and attack an automatic reaction level I have. So let's go over to my Wyckoff chart where I have my Wyckoff levels. And this is a 4-hour chart. And all the way down here is my automatic reaction on a daily distribution structure I'm looking at, right? So we have a long ways to go to actually start breaking down the automatic reaction, right? So we're still basically in the top end of this distribution here, right?
Boom.
So this
Sweep
thing
and
right
Q
here, this
sellers.
whole entire range,
Sweep
we're at
ES
the
sellers.
top end of the range, but we're seeing a mini distribution happening here, right? So now we could start breaking down, probably testing buying Climax on the daily, right? Or we could start shooting out of this level if we get
Sweep
support
and
around
Q
these
sellers.
levels here and make a uptrust after distribution, right? Which would be like the Christmas rally and all that kind of stuff. So looking out for seasonal activity that has confluence with structure in the Wyckoff levels that I have here, right? So this could be basically retesting these levels. We have a little short drop um, into the FOMC, and FOMC just starts getting us bullish if he just says things that the market likes. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. So it's Melek Shalama. This is Melek Shalama Capital LLC, and we just I'm working on some evals. I took some time off, had to kind of reevaluate and get my trading mind and my trading psychology together. I'm a victim of going off tilt sometimes, so that's why I have to get my discipline together, right? Because I have all the tools that I need to basically analyze and take these trades, but I need to be disciplined in my trade management and stop blowing up accounts. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're back on track. And you can see this is the daily pivots, and this is Camarilla S3 on the daily. You see we're actually leaving Camarilla S3 on the daily. That's a 365 strategy setup. And yeah, well, I'll go into some setups and stuff in other videos, right? So, all right, y'all. Y'all trade safe and stay blessed. Shalom.